Dravid with a couple more runs here. Chris Lewis, probably the quickest in the England side. Three runs to Dravid. Lovely stroke from Dravid. Lots of style, plenty of power. And they'll have another look at it.
I bet they will. And they'll probably enjoy it even more than they did the first time.
Good shot. Just the one. Peter Martin, the fielder. Dravid moves on to 36. 294 for 5 now. Should be looking for a couple here. Peter Martin, the fielder. Not very elegant. The two are always on. He's looked very, very good, Dravid. He's been completely away from the spotlight, concentrated as that was on the wonderful efforts of Saurav Ganguly. But he's on 42 not out, and he's playing a very, very crucial role. He's batted outstandingly. The difference between the two teams now just 40 runs. Ganguly 131, Dravid 42 not out. Those have been the two top scores for India. That's a lovely shot. There's only one way that ball is headed. We'll remember the shot for a while, will Rahul Dravid.
Oh, it's a lovely shot again. We have seen some tremendous strokes today, some sumptuous strokes actually. One from Tendulkar, one on the up through the covers from Ganguly after he's made his 100. But none better than that in terms of correctness of execution, time, patience, footwork, precision and pedigree. All those things were there in that little shot from Rahul Dravid. It takes him to 46 and confirms an impression already made.
First boundary in 13 overs for India. It's looked very correct. He sprinted for the first. Tells Kumble no. We'll be happy with one. Oops, just over the head of backward point. I think he got a hand to it. Dravid will get 2. Hussain, the fielder.
Short one. Full-blooded cut. Plenty of wrist work in that. He just did get a hand to it, I think you're right. Just touched it. But it was going fiercely. It was pretty well struck, that. That's in slow motion.
50 to Rahul Dravid. Top class innings. Deserves the applause. The second time a debutant has come good. The second time they all gather up on the balcony of the Indian dressing room. Very well played. Look for a couple here. It'll be interesting to see the line of the ball, where he picked that one up. .53 not out. 318 for 6. So what did that ball do? Seen a few strange ones. That one's gone away almost to third man. I think that was a very, very unfair call, but that's what the laws call it. No, he's been fairer to the wicketkeeper. He's called it wide. Very interesting.
Well, this wicket does create some odd behaviour. It was very wide. Poor old Jack Russell had really very little chance of getting that, especially going down the hill even further away from him. It started wide and just kept going.
I think you should give umpire Hare a little bouquet for not calling that 2 byes. That's a good shot. They split the gap this time a lot straighter, through mid-wicket rather than square leg. Just chipping away, he'll get 2 with 2 pretty handsome runs. 323 for 6. Might just sneak in a second here. They're happy with 1. 324 for 6. So not a bad day in the end, Simon, for India. Started at 83 for 2, 324 for 6, a century on debut, a very attractive half-century on debut. Maybe India's day in the end.
Absolutely, and they've got a good chance, I think, of getting a lead now, with only 21 more runs needed to get across above England's score. But Mike Atherton may well have a wry smile on his face. He knows how well Ganguly, Dravid and one or two of the others have batted, and that the England attack looked at times today a little toothless. Opportunity to build a small lead here, and I'm sure that'll be the main priority.
Well, Dravid is 56 not out, Kumble is 6 not out. I think it came onto him a little more quickly than he imagined. Slightly clumsy shot in the end, but it's got him his first run.
Yes, he was a little bit in two minds with that. I think it might have just caught him on the side of the helmet, as well as a bit of bat there. No, maybe not. Maybe he just got his bat in time. But it was a little cramped for space. Good bounce of that from Mullally.
You could almost tell that outswinger was going to come closer to Dravid. He's picked up a single. That's the 50 of the partnership. Another very, very valuable contribution down the order for India.
A lovely shot. Lovely shot by Rahul Dravid, finding his feet. Little overpitch from Chris Lewis, and Dravid with a very straight bat, a very wide bat. Playing him very comfortably. He moves on to 62. What a good innings this has been. Good shot this.
Yes, marvellous control. Feet in the right position. Very little backswing and excellent follow through.
Single there to Dravid, which brings up the 350 for India. Another milestone in this Indian first innings.
Well, it'll do the Indian team a lot of good. They've been struggling a little bit. Right on top of the ball that time, and that's been a feature of his innings, really.
Slower ball. And beautifully played by Dravid all the way down the ground towards the pavilion. And it's another boundary to this man. 68 now, and India 361 for 7.
That is a stroke of a batsman who's very confident, who's been around some time, and a juicy half volley on the leg stump, and Dravid is not a man in this sort of form to miss out on an opportunity like this. Of course, he's played Cork a few times when they were both playing for the A sides of their national team. And both Ganguly and he, I think, have had a few encounters against Dominic Cork.
One here again, might even be two. Alex Stewart, the fielder. 2 runs to Dravid, 8 off the over. India 363 for 7. Every run that Rahul Dravid scores now, there's a large Indian contingent in the man stand, and they're giving him vociferous support here. 368 for 7, and Dravid working his way ever closer to what would be a marvellous 3-figure score.
So lots of Karnataka on that scoreboard. Dravid 78 not out.
I spoke to Rahul Dravid quite a bit in India a year or so ago, and I was quite impressed by his interest in the game and his meticulousness as far as batting was concerned. He was asking about his technique, and I asking me to give me his opinions about various things. I bowled to him in the nets quite a bit, and he would sort of come to me afterwards and say, well, how did I play, and do you think I need to work on anything here? In fact, I videoed some of the India A games against England A, and he wanted to have a look at the film afterwards and check his batting, and a couple of times Dominic Cork got him LBW, so he wanted to have a look at that and see what he did wrong.
Well, I guess staying in was a fair objective when play started this morning. Now that number 10 is in, and that Rahul Dravid, as you can see, has gone 25 balls now without scoring. He didn't get much of the strike when Srinath was around, and that contributes to the fact that he's gone through 9 overs. This is his 10th without scoring. But now he needs to get on with it, because the slower he gets, the more difficult it will be for him to get to 100. You like that? Probably hope to come back for a second, and he'll do it quite easily from Peter Martin. So he's got in the 80s, but if he's calculating in terms of 10 runs at a time, he's got a new landmark to set. Dravid will be looking for 2, if not 3. He's got it through mid-wicket. Durrani's after it. Will he come back with 3? He will quite easily. Moves up to 84. Really, just the ball he would have wanted to close that long run drought. He's got 2 down there, and he's picked up 5 runs. That hurried on to him a little bit, but he found the gap. Looking for 3 here. He's happy with 2. He's got Durrani to play, so he wants to play him as much as possible. Cork the fielder there. 90 to Rahul Dravid. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Dravid's only just jogging along when he might have looked for a second, but he's probably admonishing himself on the way, because that was a genuinely wide ball.
Well, if Peter Martin had had any real luck in this game, he might have got that to drag on to the stumps, but it hasn't been his match, really. He's passed the edge a number of times. He bowled the odd loose ball and been denied the odd LBW or play on. That's the way Test cricket goes, I'm afraid. 2 inches the other side and you had a wicket.
Single to Dravid takes him on to 95. India 419 for 8. Oh, it's gone this time. The 100 is not to be. Lewis has broken the dreams of a young debutant. Rahul Dravid is out for 95. A wonderful innings. A pat on the back from his teammate Paras Mambre. Caught by Jack Russell off Chris Lewis for 95. No need to look for the umpire's finger. He walked. And what a great shame. This crowd wanted 100. India wanted it, and so too did the player. Well played, Rahul Dravid.
It's a marvellous inning. That's an emotional moment for the young man.
So India 419 for 9 with Dravid out for 95.